All right. Welcome everyone to another great episode of Modern Wong Chat. Tonight we do have Ryan Brandt. He's a good friend of mine. I would love to tell you what he does, but I'll just let him do it for you, for himself. So, all right. Welcome, Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Hey there, Martin. Thanks for having me.
Oh, shut up. Tell me a little bit about you. How would I even describe you?
A loser?
Okay, we already know that, but
Well, okay. I don't know then. I guess
Ev-
the go-to would be that I make clothes.
but when I first met you, you're mostly a cosplayer.
Yeah, yeah. I used to cosplay. I forget. I always forget about that. People will DM me sometimes and say, "You have my favorite cosplayer," and I'm like, "What?
Cool. Me?
Who? Not me. Maybe a
Wait,
past self from another lifetime."
do you not cosplay anymore? Oh, you still kind of do, but not as active.
Kinda. The last thing I can remember that wasn't from something or was from something was maybe a Reaper. But even then, I was
Mm,
like in a Reaper in a pink
okay.
cupcake dress. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't canon. Like I don't like canon things.
Wait, how did you even get into cosplay?
My first actual cosplay was when I lived out east. I lived in DC, and I wanted to go to a convention. And a bunch of my friends were like, "Let's go to a convention. Like, let's go to a big one." So we found Dragon Con, and then we went to Dragon
That's
Con.
like
I
one
was
of the
like,
biggest one.
yeah, that was my first con ever. So I like kind of jumped into the deep end, and I was kind of nervous. So I was like, I'm gonna be a Soul Reaper from Bleach because I was really into Bleach at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really nervous because I thought nobody else would have a costume on. And then I went there, and everybody had a costume on, and I figured out that I was the loser. Was like kind of underdressed in a way because I had just had I toned it way down. I didn't do like the full blown costume because I was like, oh, I'm already gonna look stupid. And then
Isn't
yeah,
that
and then
ironic? Like you thought about like you show up and say, "Oh God, I'm such a weird nerd where I would like dress up." It's like how
yeah.
people see other dress up for watching movies, right? Like
Yeah.
in theater,
I was prepared to be really self-conscious all that day, and then I got there and I was like, "Wow, I'm really,
really
like,
self conscious.
underdressed." Yeah, and
Then
then I
you
got even more I was self-conscious, but for
you
the
met your
opposite
expectations because
reason.
everyone else like making this really badass cosplay. It's like, okay, I see. You're like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
they
to
had, like, huge armor and stuff, and I was like, "Well,
time to reevaluate what I'm
alright
doing.
then." So the next year, we went back and I made, like, some of my own creations and stuff, and then it just kinda escalated. I remember I was at a con once. This is, like, before I even met Jess, but I think I was dressed up as, like, Rogue or something, I don't remember, but I was eating Subway in a food court.
Hmm.
It was at Dragon Con. Drinky Bear was there. And we were at a food court, and I was, like, shoving my face full of, like, a Subway sandwich or something,
Hmm.
and somebody was like, "Hey, can I get a photo of you?" And I had, like, just shit hanging out of my mouth, and I was like, "Oh, I guess." And then they took a photo of me, and then they wanted to tell me how they thought it was weird that I was dressing as a girl character,
um,
and he was, like, kinda judging me for it, like, low key.
but you
He's
don't
like,
ask me for a photo.
I know, that's the weird part. He's like, "Great photo. It's a little weird that you're dressed up like a female character." And I was like, "Yeah, but, I made it into like, like
Uh-huh.
I'm a guy though, so I made it like a guy version." And they're like, "Yeah, it's still a little weird though." And I remember Jesse was like, "Isn't it a little weird that you're like questioning an alternate reality that doesn't even actually exist?" And the guy was just like,
Yeah.
"Okay." And he just like walked away.
All right. Well, but you don't really cosplay as much anymore, right?
No,
Why not?
no. It just takes so much time. And I don't know. So once in a while, I get these creative spurts where for like a day, I'll be like, "Oh, I want to make that. That's so cool." And then I'll start working on it for literally maybe like 7 or 8 hours. And then that's it.
Mhm.
That's all the time I can invest into something. And then I get really bored and have to go do something else.
Do you think it makes a difference that you're dating a cosplayer?
Mm,
Like, I wonder would be like because you dating cosplayer, so you still get exposed. You still have that like, oh, cosplay. I see it.
yeah, it kind of like watching her work on stuff and progressing on stuff makes it kind of satisfies that fix, I guess.
But that's the best part. You can watch it without actually doing it.
It's
You don't
like
have to get
watching
your hands
somebody
dirty.
stream. It's like you
Uh
don't have
huh.
to play a game sometimes because you just watch, your favorite streamer play it, and then you're like, satisfied.
And you
I
don't
don't need to
stream
play it
anymore
now.
too. You used to stream a lot.
Yeah. And then I used to stream a lot. That was like my full-time thing. And then I
Hmm.
started making like shirts and clothes and hats. And then that started taking up so much more time than the streaming stuff.
Hmm.
And I remember Mike from Filthy Casual, he told me it's going to be very hard to be a streamer and run a clothing brand at the same time. And he was
And
like,
at that
eventually you're going
point,
to have to pick one.
Were you like, nah, I can do both?
Yes, 100%.
I
And I
remember we
tried
all
that
did.
for like
We all was like,
another
yeah,
couple months, and I slowly realized that's you can't. What's that saying? Like you either
specialization.
half-ass both or you full-ass one of them.
Yeah.
So I kind of made a decision there. It was like a
Yeah.
pivot.
How do people see you at con? Is it different when do you find it different when people will seeing you with her and also see you, just you by yourself?
Yeah, I don't by myself, people don't want to talk to me.
Why? Because of
And
the
then they'll
tattoos?
tweet. I don't know. I don't know why. And I've asked people this and they go, I don't know. I don't know if it's like I'm not approachable. I feel like I am. I feel like I'm pretty like, haha. I don't know what that means. Approachable, I guess. Um, but they'll walk by me like
Uh-huh.
at a con and then they'll tweet me later and say, hey, I really wanted to say hi, but I was too nervous to talk to you. But when Jess is there, almost 100% of the time people will come up and say hello.
Hmm.
But when it's just me, they'll always message me later and say, "I saw you walk by, but I didn't want to talk to you or I didn't
That's
want to bother
strange.
you or something." Maybe it's like I think a lot of it's the beard, to be honest. Like when I have
Hmm.
a beard, I
Uh,
look like, but without the beard,
chop
I'm like
someone.
I don't get people thinking I'm Jess. Once in a while I'll get a DM where somebody's like, "Hey, I would like to have sex with your girlfriend." And I'm like, all right, creep. See ya. And I just like delete it.
Hmm.
But it's the one I see all the time is
Mhm.
especially like on the more lewd photos. People
Mhm.
will comment and they'll go, wow, fake nerd boy, so lucky. You're so lucky. And it's like normally people wouldn't think too much of it. But since I see it all the time, every photo she posts where she's in a bikini or something, wow, fake nerd boy, you're so lucky.
I
I'll get
like your
tagged.
voice when you do that.
It's so lucky. And it's only because I get tagged like 15, 20 times by guys saying the same shit. It's the same line over and over. Fake Noble, you're so lucky. So I'll try to beat him to the punch. And where she posts photos like that, I'll go like fake Noble, you're so lucky in like uppercase, lowercase. And I'm like, it's such a weird way to say that you think she's hot, or to tell me that you want her in a weird way. I know that's not what you're saying, but it's 100% what you mean. And they don't realize that because it's not on a photo
It's just
of
weird
her in a costume going, wow, you're so lucky. She's so creative, man. I can't wait until
to
I get
find
a girlfriend
someone.
that's like
Mhm.
super talented like that, or I get to care for somebody like that. It's always, half naked pictures. And they're like, you're so lucky.
You should have
That's how I read it, at least.
I
Yeah.
didn't expect, our, apocalypse gonna be like this. It was more supposed to be like
Dude, like
wasteland and
everybody
war.
should have I'm not gonna like get into it too much, but like the whole Trump administration were downplaying it so hard. And everybody at the CDC was like, this is gonna be way worse than Italy within the next 10 days. This was like
'Cause
2
we're not
weeks
getting
ago.
tested, and I don't think this is actually a political issue. This is even a just human life issue.
Yeah, no, 100%. But there aren't
Yeah.
any tests because
You
funding
can't
was
get
pulled
yeah.
from it a while ago,
The
and now
whole
we're
thing
kind
is like you can get virus if you're not tested positive, so
of is that this
yeah,
meme?
it's like, "Hey." But you know what the whole thing before, right? Like I read about the story, Seattle. The reason why Seattle blew up, like they actually found out, oh, there's so many cases, is because a doctor, Dr. Wu, I believe, they only found out because she was illegally, again, this is not supposed to be a legal issue, it's a human life issue. She was illegally testing people for the virus, and then she knows that they're
Mm.
getting it, and that's why they're finding out the cases because she like did it,
But
just
they
to
were
find out
actually getting
they're actually
tested,
positive. Yeah, exactly.
whether it was legal or not. Like,
Correct. Because right now, like, I mean, I'm sure at this very points, but the last few weeks was like you cannot get tested unless you were in contact with a confirmed case.
right.
But you can't find someone with a confirmed case if they weren't tested either.
Well, it's
So,
scary because I read a bunch of articles from people that are like, I have had a fever for 3 days. I've gone to a couple of different hospitals. I've had
mhm,
blood tests done. They're saying I don't have a cold. I don't have a flu, but they
mhm.
have no COVID-19 tests and they won't give me one
They won't give.
because they
Yeah.
don't.
Mhm.
And they're like, I probably have it because I tested negative for everything else. But who knows because there aren't any fucking tests anywhere. And this is like downtown LA. This shit's happening.
Anyway,
All right.
thank you so much, guys, for joining. Have a great night.